I söndags var det 21 år sedan det palestinska nationalkonciliet utropade självständighet. Nyheterna i Israel har den senaste veckan dominerats av rykten om att det palestinska ledarskapet än en gång kommer att utropa självständighet. Justus Weiner är kopplad till Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs och är expert på internationell rätt. Jag frågade honom nyligen hur man ska tolka dessa uttalanden. Several Palestinian leaders have recently threatened to unilaterally declare independence. Hypothetically, how would such a declaration be different than from the previous one?
I'm frankly surprised that the world gets riled up about idle threats of a few unnamed Palestinian officials. On today's Jerusalem Post headline, you see that Yassir Arafat, who is the chief negotiator for the Palestinians and is based in the Palestinian Authority on the West Bank, that he has denied any intention of declaring statehood. And on top of that, the leading players in the international arena, the European Union, the United States, they're all against it. I think the British would call this a tempest in a teapot. It's much ado about nothing, really.
So with both the US and the EU clearly against unilateral steps by the Palestinians, what chances are there of this still happening or of it coming to a vote at the Security Council?
It's very, very difficult to predict whether this will come to a vote at the UN Security Council. Clearly, the Palestinians are backed automatically by more than 20 Arab states, more than 50 Islamic states, the former Soviet Union bloc states, and a variety of third world countries that have jumped on the Palestinian bandwagon and do so automatically, you could say almost when the Palestinian snap their fingers. So there is no expectation in Israel that the majority in the General Assembly or even in the Security Council will act in accordance with international law, and in this case, for once, come down on Israel's side. No one really expects that. It's a given that you have countries which are not democracies that have a history of engaging in wars and threats of wars, piling up on one side and supporting the Palestinians. But that said, the real effort the Palestinians should make at this point is, and I'm saying this in their interest, the real effort should be to reach out to Israel to resume negotiations, not what the PA head Mahmoud Abbas has done over the past months, where he has refused to negotiate, refused even to meet with the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Out of refusing to meet on the one hand and making threatening unilateral gestures on the other hand, that's hardly the proper mix or the ingredients to create a better future and a lasting peace.
Hatpropagandan i palestinska medier fortsätter. Under en minnesceremoni nyligen för Yassir Arafat visades intervjuer med palestinska barn för deltagarna. Organisationen Palestinian Media Watch har översatt materialet till engelska.
إلى ياسر عرفات تحية طيبة وبعد رسائل من أطفال فلسطين.
أنا كتير زعلت لما استشهد أبو عمار.
ليش؟
لأنه كان واحد منيح وكان يعني مناضل، مش يعني كان يعمل أشياء بالنضال، كان يساهم على النضال، يعني مش يعني يعمل سلام وهيك، يعني كان هو بده يحارب.
ياسر عرفات كان رئيس كتير مهم، وكان يجابه كل الأعداء وما يخافش من حدا، وكل اليهود والإسرائيليين والناس اللي ضدنا كانوا يخافوا منه. ولما مات بتسمم.
انا بقول انه هو مات تسمم عن طريق اليهود. انا هيك بقول ابو عمار يريدوني قتيلا يريدوني اسيرا وانا بقول لهم شهيدا شهيدا شهيدا.
إنه هو كان رئيسنا السابق وتحاصر برام الله، وطبعا لما تحاصر إحنا تضايقنا كتير وسمموا اليهود وأنا بكرههم كتير والله يجزيهم.
مات وهو مسموم من اليهود. طبعا مش عارف من إيش مات، بس بعرف إن من يهود. أنا
هدوا كل دوره قعدوا في غرفة واحدة، بالآخر سموه اليهود واتهموا حاجة ثانية غيرهم.
Och nu till någonting lite mer muntert. PresenTense-institutet i Jerusalem grundades för att underlätta och inspirera entreprenörskap och innovation. I tisdags kväll bjöds unga israeliska entreprenörer in till ett evenemang på PresenTense med anledning av den globala entreprenörsveckan som uppmärksammades världen över. Brachie Sprung arbetar som stipendiekoordinatör på PresenTense. So what's happening here tonight?
PresenTense and ROI are having a joint event for Global Entrepreneurship Week. We want to promote entrepreneurship in the community, and we invited our community of fellows and volunteers to come join us tonight for the event.
All right, so PresenTense is about entrepreneurship and innovation. How do you work to promote that?
Basically, we have a couple of ways we do it. We have a hub that we're actually in tonight. The hub promotes entrepreneurs to come sit and work together. We have dedicated desks where people can come and sit and work. We have a magazine that comes out 3 times a year, and it's written by volunteers around the world. It has an amazing circulation of like 30,000 people. And what we like to do is bring up issues that the Jewish world is facing at that moment. Our last issue just dealt with philanthropy. And the last thing that we do to promote innovation is our fellowship program. Our fellowship program, we have one right now in the summer. It's a 6-week intensive boot camp for social entrepreneurs, where we basically give them the tools that they need in order to launch a venture. We teach them how to write a business plan, how to write a budget, how to talk to fundraisers, how to do all the needs that an entrepreneur would need in order to launch their venture. And we give them a supportive community to do that. So we give them the networking aspect as well, where they can meet donors and federation heads and private people who would like to really go and at the end of the day invest in their venture.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jag heter Paul Widén och det var allt från Fokus Israel för idag. Se oss igen nästa vecka.